All right, we'll get a quick recap of materials. It's been horrible rain for like 2-3 days. Today is day 2 of a nice, beautiful sunny day. So we're gonna try to start making some progress. It's Sunday, so there's no workers today. But yesterday they finished the top layer of this. We got our concrete drainage in over here. It really makes a difference. They did a really nice job tying it in so no water, just pouring concrete with their hands so that water doesn't get underneath the tube. It needs to stay inside the tube. But they got to finish out that there. As you see here, dirt drainages do not work. They just collapse. They fill in with mud. They just don't work here. So we got the steps that are going to need drainages on the sides of those so water doesn't get underneath the concrete and ruin it a couple years later. We got the septic tank here for the bathroom here. Some big tubes that are going to go under the road over there. These smaller tubes are to repair the road further down, where there's 3 spots between the cabin and the river where we need to make crossovers for the water to be able to escape. So we got 30 smaller tubes for that. These larger tubes are for the driveway over here, and the crosswalks for the stairs and the access for the cows to get into that pasture. We have 2 truckloads of the smaller material to go on the road between the concrete when they make the steep part of the road by the cabin. Larger material, we'll probably put a tiny bit in right there where the water's puddling. We put a little bit right here already, but we'll put a tiny bit right there. Some smaller material on top of that because it started sinking in again right there. All these are drainages, so we have large size and medium size. There's a medium tube. All these large tubes, 200 pieces of them, are for the drainage from the top of this hill where the concrete path ends to the bottom right over here, right after the driveway ends. It's going to take 200 pieces for drainages in there to preserve the road, so that concrete that we're pouring all the way up the 2 1-meter wide paths last many years with no water damage, no problems. This metal is for the road, 7-inch thick concrete with this metal rebar reinforced in the middle. Muddy mess from all that. There's medium-sized drainages for around here so that this doesn't turn into what it is now. So we can get drainages around the cabin and drainages down to the road so that it preserves the driveway. So medium-sized drainages for that, large size for the roads, more medium tubes for the crossovers on the road. We ended up with tons of sawdust. All those bags are full of sawdust and tons of wood from the cut down of the tree. So it's the full width of the storage shed, which out here they call it a bodega, which is a warehouse. All the fair terriers have a bodega they store all their stuff in. Out of that tree we ended up with a bunch of logs as well. There's a few more up top. We saved some of the smaller ones. This structure, we're going to have them rebuild it. So it's going to end up being a permanent structure. So I thought that we probably need it to look good, match the garage a little. So we're going to build it twice as wide. It's going to go out to about that tree. 6 meters wide, I believe. Yeah, 6 meters wide, 3 meters deep, I think is what we're going to go with. There's some extra materials there. That's for the new bathroom right back here. And there's some to line the bodega. So it's going to match the garage. It's going to be a permanent structure. We're going to have to keep it here because the materials, I'll show you inside the garage in a minute, are overflowing. So we have to have an outside storage to hold all the materials when you do construction. Back here is where we're going to do the bathroom, the trail access, all that still needs to be worked. Material wise, this is where it is. So to save money, it would be nicer, look better if we went with a small 4-inch concrete drainages, but they can add up. So we got 15 white tubes. We're going to cut them in half evenly for drainages along the walkway paths, the stairs. That'll way they'll drain properly so they won't get damaged, but it's cheaper than concrete. So, and no cars are going to drive on those, so they won't get damaged. The concrete cinder blocks for around the bathroom when they build that. There's the new truck, completely restored paint. So we have a drill press for doing the hiking trail So not a single ding, scratch, anything. This truck's been completely re-clear coated. And all the dents have been filled in. All the scratches have been filled in with color. So they repainted those sections. Completely brand new. Not a single problem on the entire truck. So no worries of dents or scratches there. They're repaired. Everything realigned, everything. I don't know if you remember this right here stuck out a while, like a half an inch, and it looked really bad. They realigned all that. So perfect new truck. We did get 2 metal plates that are 1/4 inch thick. Metal here is very expensive, so 1/2 inch thick would be nice because you'd be able to drive a car on it and it wouldn't go through. But 1/4 inch you can walk on just fine without falling through the pit. This is the hen house my dad made. Materials. Okay, so we have a little over 100 bags of cement to do all the cement projects we have. Another 1/4 inch thick sheet here for building a welding table so that we can weld on it and make the hiking trails. That's what all this expanded metal's for. That's what the steps are going to be made out of, along with these angle irons. 120 pieces. I'll go around the other side here. So over 100 bags of concrete, or cement mix anyway, concrete's finished product. 120 angle iron pieces, that's what the rails, the stairs are going to attach to these. The stairs are also going to be framed, made out of these. These are everything. These are going to be anchors in the ground. They're going to be pretty much the entire thing. And then the mesh will be the platform of the stair where you step on it. We have other metal here, which is for the bathroom to be made. There's some wood pieces. I forgot what that project's for. It might be for stacking the wood to separate it so the air gets through it. All the conduit tubes for electricity, and there's some rebar there for the construction of the cinder blocks and bricks. So that's what's here. And we have our diesel fuel tank. So we bought this tank, and rather than trying to drive the tractor clear into town on the other end of town, that holds 55 gallons, and we got a pump for it. So you can just crank the pump and it'll fill it up. This tube goes over the pump so you can run it into the tank. When it's empty, it's really light, so you can throw it in the back of the truck and go down and fill it up. So that works. This cover is to cover the material shed or bodega. It's over here, the new one that we're going to build, and that way there's a cover on the front of it. It's just a fabric that nobody can see in to see what materials we have. Hopefully it'll keep theft down, and we'll have the fence and the gates all the way up, so that should keep some theft down as well.